If Zainab had a naira for every time someone said, "You're beautiful, but you'd be perfect if you just slimmed down a bit," she could have launched a luxury plus-size fashion line and still had enough left over to sponsor her own Netflix series. Maybe even two. At 29, Zainab had carved out a respectable place for herself in Abuja's competitive architecture scene. Junior architect at one of the city's most prestigious firms, team lead on a national award-winning project, all before 30. She was brilliant, stylish, and unapologetically sarcastic. The kind of woman who never left the house without red lipstick, collected vintage handbags like trophies, and had a playlist for every mood. And yet, none of that ever seemed to be the main thing people saw. When Zainab walked into a room, whether it was a boardroom, a party, or even a supermarket, she could feel it. The scan. Eyes gliding from her face to her hips like a barcode reader checking for discounts. Their expressions always said it all. Nice face. Shame about the waist. Her weight wasn't new. She'd always been a little bigger than her peers. By university, the comments had only evolved, not disappeared. Her roommate once said during a group selfie, "Z, bend your arm like this. It'll hide the fat." That one stuck with her for years. Still, Zainab had become good at pretending it didn't matter. Her confidence acted like armor, shiny, polished, but thin in places. But shields get heavy when you're always carrying them. And Zainab was tired. University had been a minefield of subtle and not-so-subtle reminders that her body was too much. Her roommate's selfie comment had stung the most, not because it was cruel, but because it was so casual. As if hiding her body should be second nature. There were nights she stood in front of the mirror trying to adjust angles, wondering which pose made her look smaller. She learned to laugh off the suggestions. "Try this tea, join our gym, eat only once a day." She'd say, "Thanks, I'm good," then cry in the shower. Family wasn't much better. Her mum, a retired headmistress with a sharp tongue, was both proud and concerned. Concerned in that uniquely Nigerian way that sounded more like judgment than care. After one particularly big Sunday lunch, she muttered, "Zainab, fat doesn't burn with prayers alone." At weddings, her aunties were worse. "Our Orobo queen. Come and eat," they'd sing, piling extra jollof rice onto her plate. Compliments wrapped in criticism. Love served with a side of shame. Zainab laughed with them. Boys. Because if she didn't laugh, she might scream. Femi had seemed different. Tall, well-read, with a smile that disarmed even her best sarcasm. For 3 dates, Zainab let herself hope. She wore her favorite lipstick, told her best jokes, even cooked jollof from scratch. They talked about architecture, Lagos traffic, and childhood dreams. Then he disappeared. 3 days of silence, then a text from a mutual friend. Femi said he couldn't see himself carrying that kind of load into marriage. Zainab read it twice. Then again. She didn't cry. Not immediately. She just sat there, feeling her chest tighten. A different kind of heaviness. One that had nothing to do with weight. That night, she stood in front of the mirror, poked her stomach, turned sideways and whispered, "Maybe if I just lost 10 kilograms, just enough to shut everybody up." The next morning, she signed up for a fitness class. The instructor looked like she bench-pressed bricks for fun. "Welcome, Zainab. We start with warm-ups," she chirped. 15 minutes in, Zainab was wheezing like a dying generator. Her knees begged for mercy. Her joints protested like ASU on strike during salary negotiations. She never went back. Instead, she turned to Instagram. That's where she found Glow Fast Detox and Fit Tea. It had a tagline that screamed, "Drop 5 kilograms in 7 days or your money back." The reviews were glowing, literally. Models with hourglass shapes and sparkling teeth posted before and after photos with captions like, "Thank God I found this," and "No gym, no diet, just glow fast." Desperate, Zainab placed an order. The box arrived like a promise. Sachets, pills, and a green tea that smelled like boiled grass and regret. She followed the instructions religiously, green tea in the morning, pills in the afternoon, and fat flush juice at night. By day 2, she had stomach cramps. By day 4, she couldn't sleep. On the 7th day, she fainted in the bathroom. Her best friend, Muna, who rushed her to the hospital, was at her side when she woke and groaned. What happened? When the nurse asked what she had taken, Zainab muttered, "Glow fast. I just wanted," before dozing off again. Muna was furious. "Z, are you mad?" she asked angrily. "You nearly died. Why would you put your life at risk for a few kilos? What were you thinking? Who told you you're not enough the way you are?" Zainab sighed. "Everybody." Muna sat beside her, squeezed her hand and said, "Then everybody is mad." Zainab didn't reply. She was too tired, physically, mentally, and emotionally. A few weeks later, Zainab was recovering slowly. She deleted the fitness pages on Instagram and unfollowed every influencer who made her feel like her worth was measured in inches and dress sizes. She started therapy. It wasn't easy. Some days she felt lighter. On other days, she still stood in front of the mirror and wished for a smaller waist. But she no longer punished herself for the shape of her body. She let herself feel. There was no dramatic weight loss. No makeover montage. Just small wins. Saying no to shame. Saying yes to softness. One Sunday afternoon, she attended a bridal shower for her cousin. As usual, she wore her favorite red jumpsuit and earrings shaped like teacups. As she sipped Chapman and tried to avoid her aunties, she noticed a young woman sitting in a corner, quiet and self-conscious, holding her stomach. Zainab approached her. "Hi," she said with a warm smile. "I'm Zainab." "I'm Mimi," the woman replied. "I love your outfit." "Thanks. You look like you need a break from the aunties." Mimi laughed softly. "It's not just them. It's everything. I had a baby 7 months ago. I don't even recognize myself anymore. I used to wear size 10. Now, even 14 is tight. I'm always tired and my body feels foreign. I don't recognize myself." Zainab sat beside her. "I get it. Really. I do." They talked for over an hour about postpartum weight, Instagram lies, and societal pressure. Mimi confessed she had been saving to buy a weight loss injection she saw online. Zainab shook her head. "Don't do it. Don't harm yourself for people who don't even pay your bills. Your body has done something incredible. It carried life. That's not something to be ashamed of." Mimi looked down. "But I don't feel beautiful." Zainab reached out, took her hand and said, "That's because the world keeps lying to women like us. The truth is, your beauty isn't a reward for being slim. You are not a before photo waiting to become an after. You're already enough." Mimi's eyes watered. And for the first time in months, so did Zainab's. In that moment, she wasn't speaking from memory. She was speaking from truth. And for the first time in a long time, she believed it. Moral of the story? In a world that profits off your insecurity, loving yourself is an act of rebellion. Society may hand you 1,000 mirrors to show you what's wrong with your body, but the real courage is to look at yourself and say, "I am not a project. I am a masterpiece in progress." What are your thoughts about Zainab's experience? Let's have them in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Like and share this, and please do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories like this.